go ahead and start, because if anything, we want to start on time, end on time, and get the food rolling. So I just want to welcome you. My name's Mike McCullough. I'm the treasurer, and I'm happy to report that we are in the black. We are making money for Trenton Rotary, and thank you all very much. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I just want to give you a little background because this is the first annual bougie banquet, and you'll probably wonder why we came up with the word bougie. It's because of my wife. My wife says bougie all the time. I got tired of hearing about it, and so I spread it over to bougie. And bougie, by the way, if you don't know, everybody know how to define bougie? Bougie, that's up in Grosse Pointe. This is bougie. We're down here in Trenton. Anyways, thank you for laughing. But then again, I'm not a paid comedian. Anyways, bougie, for those that are really interested, lean in. Bougie is defined in the slang dictionary as something luxurious in lifestyle, yet humble in character. Now, if that doesn't describe Trenton or me, I don't know what does. But anyways, that's what it's all about. What we wanted to do is combine two things, the state of the city and the awards banquet, city awards banquet, and it goes way, way back. But anyways, we wanted to upgrade things. And we wanted to upgrade the food, we wanted to upgrade the venue, we wanted to upgrade the experience. And we wanted to keep the cost low. And thank you very much. I think we have done that, but that's certainly going to be up to you folks. Hopefully we've met your expectations, and we'll see a little bit later on. I want to give a big thank you, and this is where I go into the big thank you, and I won't take long, but a big thank you to our sponsors. Those sponsors in the room, you know who you are, you stepped up, you came up with a little bit of money to help us keep that price low. The sponsors, would you stand up and be recognized? And don't be shy. Okay, they're shy. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. There we go. Thank you very much. Okay, got a few back there, a few up here. That's great. Thank you very much. You're the ones that make it possible. And then there's the suppliers and the vendors, the ones that bougie this place up. We got Bob Jensen. We got a lot of folks. We got the folks from 19 Catering 19, and you're going to taste their food in just a short minute. But we want to thank them for all they're doing and have done. Want to thank our committee. And the committee, I know we had this choreographed. Let's see how the dress rehearsal went. For all those that are on the committee, I'd love to have you stand and be recognized. Please stand and be recognized. They're wearing the glasses. Some of them are now. And they've done a great job, haven't they? Thank you for wearing the glasses. It was a tough, nobody wanted to wear glasses. They all wanted my tie, though. You know what I mean, Vicki? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, just one more note. This jacket, I've had a lot of comments about this jacket. Debbie Dingle here made a comment and says, it's gorgeous. It looks great on you. I'm paraphrasing is what I'm doing. Gorgeous. You look magnificent. She says, but I've seen it before. And I said, you're right. Bill Lefevre. This is Bill Lefevre's coat. It's a good friend of mine. I went into his closet, pulled out this coat. This was the least objectionable, so a little shout out to Mr. Bill Lefevre. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start this meeting, and usually what we do, starting the meeting, we ring the bell, and we're going to have a few folks who, like starting a meeting. And so we'd like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and Debbie Dingle, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Stand.
There it is.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we have the chaplain with Corwell. You've seen John at different functions, at Trenton Education Foundation, Rotary functions, and so forth. And John has agreed to lead us in the invocation.
Thanks, sir. Won't you bow your heads with me? Gracious God, we just thank you for this opportunity to gather this evening as a community to highlight this incredible city and to celebrate those in our community that make Trenton such a wonderful place to live and raise a family. And Lord, we're just so thankful for the city volunteers, the Rotarians who work so hard to make this evening possible for us. And Lord, as we begin this program, we ask your blessings upon our mayor, the assembled council members, elected officials, Congressperson Dingle. We pray that you'd continue to guide and direct them as they strive to make impactful decisions on behalf of this city. We ask your blessings upon our first responders, our DPS workers, our recreation staff, and all employees who work tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure the safety and provision of services that allow us to call Trenton our home. And Lord, we ask your blessings upon tonight's award recipients who have gone above and beyond to keep our city safe and beautiful without seeking recognition or fanfare. Now, Lord, we ask that you bless this food. May we use it to nourish our bodies so that we may continue to serve in your name. Amen.
I feel a little like Columbo. I got one more thing. Nobody remembers Columbo. Isn't that right? Yeah, that's true. Anyways, I just want to recognize the city. The city of Trenton, Rotary Club of Trenton, have worked tirelessly for months to pull this together, and we've had so much the support of the administration, the mayor, council, and I really, really appreciate it, and the committee members. It's been incredible, and it truly brings to me the concept that we are better together. And then one other thing, what a city we live in. That snow was removed so fast today. And one other thing, and remember Mike Bedson, Officer Bedson, goes into the river to save a dog. I don't know how many, talk amongst yourselves, but that is incredible. Jumps in the freaking river and gets this dog, saves him, and he loves it. He does this on his off day. Anyways, what a great city we live in. And as somebody once said to me, who's got it better than us? Nobody. That's exactly right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have Wally from Event 19, Catering 19. She'll start us with, and her team will start us with serving one table at a time. And so they'll start, and in the meantime, bon voyage and bon appetit. You know, I get my French words mixed up. Anyways, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would, please help me welcome Dean Creech, our city administrator for the city of Trenton.
All right, well, first of all, thanks for everyone for coming. This is kind of a new format for us, and really got to make sure we thank Rotary for really engaging in the entire Trenton team, of which Rotary is a part of, to really make a nice event for the award winners and for, of course, my boss's speech. So anyways, very appreciative of it. Doesn't go, if I haven't thanked them enough, take this as my extra thanks. And if you run into anybody from Rotary especially, make sure you pat them on the back, because they're really doing a great thing for the community. So with all that out of the way, I'll introduce our keynote speaker with the State of the City, Stephen Rizeppa, Mayor Stephen Rizeppa.
My first time I made the mistake of not bringing a glass of water up, and I talked for a long time, so I apologize. So again, want to give a big thank you to Rotary for putting this together. The entire crew of volunteers, our civic commission, our caterers, the service staff are here today. So real round of applause here. Because, believe it or not, we are in the Westfield Center, right? Doesn't this look absolutely amazing? I have to give quick recognition to my teammates in all of this that make all of this happen. The entirety of our city council, except for one who was unable to make it tonight, is here. So I have to give a shout out to our Mayor Pro Tem, Rick Benedetti, who is here, and he can actually finish the rest of the speech if he wants. We've got Councilman Nelson Peruggi, Councilwoman Dora Rodriguez, Councilman Scott Cabell-Watton, Councilwoman Emily Hornbeck, and then Councilwoman Timber Bond Crooks, who was unable to make it here tonight. So Congresswoman Dingell, who had to take off here but was here earlier, State Senator Camilleri, still in Lansing but wanted to be here, State Representative Riley Linting is here, and then Molly from Wayne County Executive Warren Evans' office. So I want to thank all of our elected officials who are here to help us support Trenton very much. And some of those folks, including our state representative, will have tributes for some of our awardees that we get to recognize. But above all, it's an incredible honor to be here today to give my 6th State of the City address, to reflect on all that we've been able to accomplish over this past year, and really to just be incredibly proud of the place that we live and get to call home. So diving right in here, let's get started. So before I was even elected to City Council in 2013, time flies when you're having fun, everyone was asking, what's going to happen at the DTE plant, right? At that point, it was a foregone conclusion. It was inevitability that we knew that this plant was going to close. But years of careful planning by our council, our previous administrations, ours included, we were doing what we could to help us brace for the impact of what that was going to be if we had a, frankly, zero tax base at the site of that property here. We did what we could to make sure that our residents were not going to be affected by seeing the services that they deserve and expect diminish in any sort of way if we were to, again, completely lose tax base at the plant. Fortunately, we don't have to worry about that because of our efforts. Last summer, we broke ground on what, when it is complete next year in 2026, will be the largest standalone battery energy storage project in the entire Great Lakes region. A $500 million investment by DTE right here in the city of Trenton. Yes, $500 million in the city of Trenton, not in Detroit, not in Chicago, not Grand Rapids, not in Ann Arbor, in the city of Trenton. This project is critical for our clean energy future, for our energy independence, to sustain our energy grid as we have it here, and it is certainly critical to continue to provide a solid foundational tax base for Trenton so we can continue to fund the high level of services that you all expect and you all deserve. Another kicker on this too is that this project is actually only going to take up about a quarter of the site at the DTE plant, a quarter of what used to be the former coal-fired power plant. That means we have a huge portion of the site that is going to be so much cleaner than it is today and very ready to develop to make sure that we have an opportunity to enhance the city's tax base and enhance the quality of life for our residents here in Trenton. So at long last, if you drive down West Jefferson and stand in front of what used to be an old hospital, you can actually see to the water now. And while it's not totally done, there's still some piles of rubble sitting out there, and it's come with its host of issues throughout. The demolition on the former Riverside Hospital site is almost complete. I have made the remarks, I don't know how many times, about how I, as mayor here, do not remember it as a functioning hospital, which should say something, but we have finally seen the opportunity where we're getting to the point now where this could literally be one of, if not the cleanest available piece of commercial property available along the Detroit River. So while the city of Trenton does not own it, and we have not, I don't have anything to announce in terms of development plans that we've received, we want to do whatever we can to help market it as such, even though it is, right, again, still owned by the same individual that we have litigated with throughout this process, but we're excited to do, again, whatever we possibly can to make sure that this is something that's going to benefit all of Trenton's residents here. I owe a tremendous thank you to so many of the people in this room that I haven't give already here, who this past August passed an absolutely transformational millage to build us a new fire and police station and help make massive, massive, much-needed improvements in our city facilities. This is going to give us spaces that we can be proud of, because right now, many of the people that we are going to applaud and thank here tonight are working in spaces that we should not be proud of. And I know what everyone was thinking and probably hoping to, and what I was hoping to be able to come up here and say, but that's not going to be the case. I'm not going to be able to tell you, oh, here's where it's going to be, have a big unveiling of a picture or anything like that. But things are progressing incredibly well on that front. I know you all heard our arguments about where that should be in the broader area of 4th Street and West Road to improve response times. That's the big crux of this whole thing, particularly for our fire department. And again, I don't have a firm update to give right now, but we have been moving forward with our construction managers and making progress on some of those property acquisition conversations. And we really hope to have some very, very exciting news to share with you all on what will be a really important piece of our future as a community in the coming months here. While it did not necessarily occur in the Trenton limits, we are all very, very well aware of it at this point. Our neighbors to the north in Riverview have decided to cease and desist pursuit of any expansion of the Riverview landfill. While this has been a very convenient place for the bulk of downriver to send its trashed refuse, City of Trenton included, we as the city have formally been opposed to this expansion for over a decade, as the burdens of the growing trash hill have become too much to bear for us here. And we look forward to, frankly, doing whatever we can to work with other cities as an entire region to make sure that we find economically and environmentally sustainable solutions to developments for these, what are frankly relics of a bygone era that no longer serve the community in the same way that it once did, and do what we can to make sure that these sites are part of our future, not just as a region, but as a state. So other persistent problems, if we want to stay on that train here, no pun intended. Who's ever been stuck at a train on 4th Street? Yeah, woohoo. So I grew up on the south side of the train tracks. I went to Taylor Elementary over there, and I can't tell you how many times that happened to me, whether it been going on my way to or from school as a teenager, going to work when I worked at the ice rink, visiting my dad now, or even like riding bikes as a kid. I swear I think I grew up in like the only place in the state of Michigan where it was a legitimate excuse to say you got stuck by a train on your bike. But fortunately we have a light at the end of the tunnel now. Just within this last month here, thanks to a grant from the federal government that was marshaled in by Congresswoman Debbie Dingell, they're making a $75 million investment into MDOT to help build a grade separation at 4th Street and Van Horn, with which, in addition to the $20 million that Senator Camilleri was able to help secure for MDOT in the last budget, should be enough to cover the cost of the entire project. So, no renderings have been complete at this point. We're not going to see groundbreakings next year. This is quite literally something that's going to be 5-6 years before there are shovels in the ground. There's so much work to be done on that front. But finally, we're going to have, again, a light at the end of the tunnel, an opportunity where we aren't seeing ambulances sitting at a train crossing. We're not seeing school buses sitting at a train crossing, wondering, with parents wondering where their kids are at. Our first responders that get stuck by this being less than a mile away from the only level 2 trauma center in the region. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. I know who here, I guess we're doing another show of hands, who here was able to join us this past September for our art festival downtown. I know quite a few people. Yeah, all right, there you go. So we're doing it again, but also our, for those that weren't able to see it, our DDA led efforts to add 7 beautiful permanent murals and 2 sculptures to our downtown area, with artists and vendors, quite literally from all over the country, taking part and bringing us a ton of positive press, exposure, and something that our residents, visitors, and businesses are all able to enjoy, while also adding quite a bit of flair and lore for our local history. Now, working alongside our city engineers at CE Rains, Angelia and our board have helped fund many important infrastructure projects in the district, including the Jefferson and Elm parking lot, revamping that will be completed this spring, a great deal of alley paving in the area, improvements to tree pits, flowers, and general aesthetics, and those upcoming Rotary Park improvements I just mentioned. The DDA has also launched multiple new programs and initiatives that we're going to see come to fruition here soon, including our facade grant improvement program to provide dollars directly to our businesses in our downtown, and improving their curb appeal, along with our Downtown Dollars program to help with promotional items. Our Human Resources Director, Elizabeth Perry, made significant strides in filling openings, hiring 8 new employees full-time across, including our Downtown Development Authority Director, Public Works, Wastewater Treatment Plant, and others. The department also onboarded over 110 part-time employees supporting our seasonal workforce. We had initiated several new voluntary benefit programs for our employees, including some short-term disability programs, supplemental life insurance, and more, providing a lot more opportunities for financial security there. We also negotiated deferred retirement option plans for our police and fire pension programs, allowing for, frankly, greater retirement planning and security for our folks. We want to do whatever we can to make sure that Trenton is a place that people come to fight to work for. Our police department had an incredibly successful year under the leadership of our Chief Mike Hawkins and Deputy Chief Jeff Neese. The overseeing operational changes to the department, including adding an additional day shift traffic officer focused on motor carrier violations and overweight trucks on our roads. 2 departmental promotions using a new process to help identify future leaders in our department. Hiring 2 additional officers through our, that we were able to sponsor through the Police Academy through grants from MCOLS. We received $53,000 in traffic safety grants and additional traffic patrols to address concerns of these traffic violations around town. And we began our MLEAC accreditation process, which is a 2-year-long process to make sure that we are operating under the best policing practices and standards in the state of Michigan. We've begun utilizing our consolidated emergency 911 dispatch program with the Brownstown Police Department, improving the level of professional services to our residents. We've also launched a new Trenton Police mobile app for information, alerts, and resources, created a female mentorship program for female officers, and identified and contracted with mental health professionals for confidential officer assistance. Now, in terms of training, our department completed over 4,200 training hours over the course of the year. Now, every employee of the police department has completed trainings in ethics, harassment, emotional intelligence, and interpersonal communication. Deputy Chief Neese and Sergeant Benars each graduated from the Eastern Michigan University Staff and Command School, which we are extremely excited for and proud of. And in addition, our police chief, Mike Hawkins, was able to attend the FBI National Academy, which is an incredibly intensive 2.5-month-long program that makes sure that we have the best in the state of Michigan. So you've all seen our officers actively engaged within the community every day of the week here, between our 4th annual Shop with a Cop event, our Coffee with a Cop at the Trenton Towers, First Responders Mass at St. Paul Lutheran Church, Elder Fraud Awareness event, our continued DEA prescription drug take-back, numerous presentations about the bond proposal, which you should all go watch those videos still, just even if you needed any clarity. Continue to ride to school charity events and ice cream socials with first responders. The refocus that the department has put on high visibility enforcement and proactive policing has proven to be very successful in reducing crime across the community. And the visibility of our department has shown to have an incredibly positive impact in reducing these crimes. Our fire department, led by Chief Keith Anderson, was very busy in 2024, including with Deputy Chief Martiniak, also working on our Staff and Command School here too. We've got also another 3,000 calls for service from our fire department over the course of the year, with over 80% of these being for emergency medical service, and another about 18% for fire incidents, structure fires, fire alarm responses, vehicle fires, and the likes. Our department is continuously working hard on developing further skills and training opportunities. The department finished up the Rapid Intervention Training, RIT, providing advanced skills for firefighters fighting fires and rescuing victims, as well as fellow firefighters in a burning structure. Trenton continues to engage with other local departments with the use of training from the state of Michigan, and our fire department also logged over 4,000 training hours over the course of the year. Our department participates in Downriver Mutual Aid with active members in the dive rescue team, the hazmat team, the logistics team, and the fire investigation task force. As many have seen through newspaper articles and social media posts, we also push to make sure that everyone has working smoke alarms in their home. If anyone, in partnership with the State Fire Marshal's Office, our firefighters will come to any Trenton resident's home and install smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors completely for free. Please contact the department if that is something that you or a loved one needs in any way. Any resident that is interested can certainly do so. Paul Haley helps out with each of these departments and many others as our emergency management coordinator, providing a link to our state and federal resources through the Michigan State Police, FEMA, and is responsible for our school safety program as well. He manages and witnesses drills with TPS, St. Joe's, Riverview School District, as well as serving as a member of our school's Executive Safety Council. He qualified last fall with the captain of the Port of Detroit's Coast Guard team to evaluate and respond to oil spill damage and other waterborne hazards, natural resources which we all know are very, very important to the city here. Our Department of Service, led by our director, Kevin Sargent, who I believe, as you can all realize, have been very busy in the last 12 to 16, 18 hours or so, making sure we were all able to get here. So a round of applause for the entire crews that work out there every day in some of the most miserable conditions, but did another great job delivering service to our residents here. We've hired in our DPS 18 new employees since 2018 for a total workforce out of 30 here. But with that, our water department this past year was able to repair 54 different water main breaks and leaks. Those always obviously happen at the absolute worst time in the worst weather. And it's a truly, truly miserable and difficult experience through and through. But they do a tremendous job of minimizing the time that water is shut off to residents, minimizing that inconvenience as best as we possibly can, while making sure safety is certainly a priority. The city is obviously mandated by the state to replace all of our lead water service lines at a rate of 5% per year, in which we are continuing to make good progress on. This past year, they handled over 2,000 missed dig requests by marking our underground utilities as well. Our DPS staff cleaned and TV'd 28,000 lineal feet of sewer mains across the city. That is a lot. This ongoing program is undertaken by the city to make sure that we are proactive on our infrastructure issues and making sure that our sewers are operating effectively so we don't have so many of the flooding issues that so many places do. During this TVing process, residential house leads are also inspected at the point that they connect to the city sewer. If we are able to notice a defect in the residential line, while it is not our responsibility, we do send letters to residents to make sure that they are aware, as sort of a heads up, that they might be having an issue soon and hopefully can prevent any sort of basement backups, other issues, things like that. Our sanitation department certainly stayed busy too, especially with our curbside recycling program that we were able to launch about 2 years ago now. In 2024, we collected and delivered just over 1.5 million pounds of recyclable material to the recycling facility here. And since the inception of our curbside recycling program, we've reduced the amount of trash going toward the landfill by about 1/6, between 15 and 17%. Our DPS secretarial staff have been very diligent in providing education materials to residents through the city website, on social media, and our sanitation workers collected just under 10,000 tons of trash in 2024. That's between residential, commercial, special pickups, and the trash that we get from the transfer station too. Another 2,700 tons of yard waste that you get to put right in your can at the curb. And then we spent 7 weeks picking up leaves in front of the residents as well too. During the winter months, we were able to use 550 tons of road salt to make sure that our streets are safe for our fellow travelers. And I think that as someone who had to drive quite a bit around Southeast Michigan today, we can say that our residential streets were unquestionably the best. In 2022, we made the decision as a city to have our city employees once again start cutting the grass at our parks as opposed to the private companies that we had doing them. Our city now cuts 75% of the grass that we own, and with our care and attention to detail, we can all agree that the overall appearances of our parks are leaps and bounds better than what they were. At this point, we now mow about 2,600 acres of grass over the course of the year and keep busy with that. Also removing 99 dead, diseased, or overgrown trees and trimming an additional 270 some. We were fortunate to have help from the Rotary Club with much of this too, planting another 20 trees in front of residences throughout the year. City was awarded our community forestry grant from the Department of Natural Resources. It was $50,000 that we are actually able to use for our forester to help create a tree inventory, a maintenance strategy, and overall condition assessment of all the trees in city right-of-ways and public spaces to make sure that we don't have to deal with so many of those nagging tree issues. Our wastewater treatment department, or our wastewater treatment plant, led by our superintendent Julie Willison, which is a great department to have and a great one to not have to worry about. It serves the residents of Trenton 24/7, as you all know, and probably take for granted, just like I do often. But we average just an unbelievable amount of wastewater that we are able to process through the city every year, treating 1.2 billion gallons, including 31.5 inches of rainfall over the course of the year. All of this water is treated and returned to the Detroit River via the Elizabeth Park Canal. We had 3 new employees join our wastewater treatment department this past year, and it's worth noting that we probably do about 90% of the maintenance internally with our city staff as opposed to outside contractors. This helps us not only save money, but just save a bunch of time in terms of having equipment down for a few hours as opposed to weeks. Our operators are incredibly skilled, from welding to plumbing, fabrication, all around general maintenance. It's something that we take great pride in. We had incredible amounts of upgrades there, including new cement work, installing new effluent pumps for our chlorine system, rebuilding an entire clarifier tank, new windows throughout the plant, and all new fiber switches for our SCADA system, plus all of the normal day-to-day maintenance to make sure that when our toilets flush, we don't have to see it again. Yeah, it's a good place to be. Yeah. Just across the parking lot here, the Trenton Library, with our library director, Donna Jensen, the Trenton Veterans Memorial Library, which so many other communities in the area are able to take part in as well, has over 90,000 physical items with 115,000 free ebooks, magazines, and movies available for all of you. There were over 120,000 visitors to our library in 2024, with over 400 a day coming through that. It's open 6 days a week. Monday through Thursday are 9 to 8. Friday and Saturday, 9 to 5. There's 19 public computers. You can use them for printing, for Wi-Fi. We've got meeting rooms, conference rooms, good seating, group work tables, silent study areas, a library of things, including musical instruments, coding robots, STEM kits, art tools, so much more, a puzzle exchange, a seed library exchange if something you plant doesn't die immediately like me. It'll teach you how to garden, harvest, so much more. And then just the free regular programs that we have, right? We've got weekly story time for kids 0 to 5, the Lego Club, book clubs for kids, teens, adults, summer reading programs for every age, yoga, computer classes, gardening. We've had local authors come visit, and so much more. We received a grant this past year to help teach people how to use computers and phones safely, and another grant for our homebound delivery services, including free hotspots and Wi-Fi access, helping a lot of our seniors out with many of these things. We have a new outreach coordinator who's helping create opportunities to give back to the community, showing how we can get involved with different events, volunteering, community partnerships, and the like. And we're working with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, the Trenton Public Schools, and some local gardening and environmental groups to create a pollinator meadow along the creek here. That'll be a beautiful space for kids to learn at. Don't forget to check out the story walk while you're at it. It's a half-mile walk along the Franken Poet Drain here, too, that has story pages spaced out along the trail for kids to read along, and adults if you can read, too. But the stories do change with seasons and holidays. Our Parks and Rec department stayed very busy as well, with so many exciting projects and improvements led by our director, Tim Beaker. The department's been hard at work designing and organizing projects for 2025, along with the significant facility improvements and not just the temporary ones we have in here today. But we've seen so much more in the works between Rotary Park, the Elm Street parking lot, Slocum Park, the Westfield Center, the ice rink, the pool. And these upgrades really reflect a commitment that we are making to providing beautiful, accessible, and well-maintained spaces for our community for long after that we're all gone. In addition to facility improvements, the department has significantly expanded the programs that they offer, introducing new kids programs at the pool during the summer, themed open skates at the ice rink, toddler takeovers, holiday-themed teas, a new basketball league, a year-round swim club, tennis lessons, skating lessons, and so much more. There's really something for absolutely everyone to do here all year round. Our events have continued to grow in popularity and scale here too, from our daddy-daughter dance to the summer festival, the Halloween walk, the mom and son event, the high school hockey showcase, Somewhere in Time, the Senior Olympics, and really just the community participation in each of these grows every single year. Our Parks and Rec department is really here to keep everyone busy, engaged, and connected with so many wonderful opportunities that our community has to offer. So our other elected officials that I didn't necessarily get to shout out here before, but I will do right now. We have our city assessor, Joni Barnett, our city clerk, Debbie Devitt, and our city treasurer, who I believe you've heard from before, Mike McCullough. A round of applause for each of them here, too. But in our assessing department, we were able to add a part-time appraiser's aide this summer. And as I know everyone here is curious about, too, our market analysis for 2024. Our residential property values in Trenton had on average, 10.72% increase. Our commercial properties saw a 4.79% increase, and industrial even saw just about a 2.5% increase. You're welcome. It's fine. It's good. It's good. That was supposed to get more laughs. That's good. That's fine. Yeah, don't worry. There's still an inflation cap on taxes. That's okay. So 2024 property tax sales, we had 320 total property sales across the city as well, with 296 of those being residential and other 23 commercial and 1 industrial. So everyone here knows real estate in Trenton is quite hot, and we hope to make sure that it stays that way for all of our sake. Our city clerk, Debbie Devitt, as I mentioned, her office did an incredible job this past year with quite a few very busy elections to work, beginning with the presidential primary in February, where we had our first early voting sessions, and allowing voters an additional 9 days to vote in person and feed their ballot through the machine themselves if they would so choose. In addition to that in February, we had a special election in May to support our Trenton Public Schools. We had an August primary election and then the November general election, which saw 75% voter turnout here in Trenton, with 3,192 casting their ballot during early voting, another 3,700 and some change on election day, and about 5,200 casting their ballots absentee. Thank you to the dedication and awesome work from our clerk's office, all of our election workers, and all of the volunteers who make sure that this is an accurate and smooth election year every time. So, before we get into the real awardees that we need to honor and recognize tonight, just in conclusion, I have to give a deep thank you and appreciation to every single one of you. Every single one of our employees who are the ones that keep this city running every single day. It is not me or anyone else in the office. These are the folks that are the reason that we have all the things that we have and have so much to be proud of. I have to give a thank you to every one of our residents who make it such an honor and privilege every day to have the opportunity to get to serve my hometown here. We've got so much to be thankful for. It's easy for that to get lost in so much. We have a lot to be grateful for, but we have so much more to be excited for in 2025 here. Trenton is going to continue to be the best place to live downriver, I promise you. And we want to make sure that that is the case, not just for downriver, but for the entire region, far and wide here. So alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the one and only Dr. Noel Jackson, President of the Trenton Rotary Club. Love those glasses. Put it together.
Have the recipients come up. I am, as Mike said, Dr. Noel Jackson, and I am the proud president of Trenton Rotary. Trenton Rotary is an amazing organization. For the past 88 years, we've been serving this community, and we have the opportunity tonight to be able to give the highest recognition award that Rotary International gives to people that are non-Rotarians. It's called the Paul Harris Award. And Rotary has so many values and ethics that we work off of. And one of them is service above self. And you gotta think about that, and you gotta think about that. Because when you start engaging with service, some amazing things happen. Friendships happen. Diversity happens, because there is no other. We are all working together to make things happen. And then also, Rotary has a vision statement. Okay, enough of that, Mike. I did that for Mike. So Rotary's vision statement is like this, and I love this, and this embodies the spirit that these three Paul Harris recipients exemplify. Together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. And with that, I want you to know that these recognitions that we're giving to these three amazing, outstanding service individuals represents a $1,000 contribution to the Rotary Foundation. And on their behalf, it will continue to do good in the world. So I'd like to start. I've got my assistant here, Assistant Mike. I might introduce you later. These awards, there's a plaque, there's a medallion, and there's also the pin. And so I want to start with our first recipient, Matt Van Lente. Now, Van Lente, I make sure that I pronounce that right. Matt has really been engaged with Trenton Rotary for many years. And, it's those people that want to help. You ask them for help, and they just never turn you down. They make sure that things happen. So Matt's 27-year career with Walmart. Wow. Okay, he uses his position, his vocation, to make the world a better place. So he's had a long, strong relationship with the Trenton Rotary, spanning many years as a sponsor and supporter of Roar on the River. Everyone remember that? For like 60 years, Trenton Rotary made sure that sponsorship happened, and was incredible. And during the Walmart grand reopening, he donated a generous check to Trenton Rotary. He has significantly participated the last 6 years with the Trenton Rotary community distribution of thousands of dollars of returned and repurposed goods to worthy charities. Additionally, he's worked the last 3 years with, catch this, Trenton Police Department on the holiday Shop with a Cop. Okay? I tell you, if I was a little kid, I'd sign up for that. Sounds great. And Matt, I want to thank you for engaging and supporting the community. Thank you for your service above self. He looks pretty good with that medallion on, doesn't he? Okay. Our next recipient, and I think if you don't know who Jim Jasek is, I mean, do you hear that? He spreads that kind of joy and happiness everywhere he goes. He never turns down an opportunity to help with any organization in any way he can. So Jim has been involved with the Trenton Rotary since 2006. He pitched in to help with Roar on the River. Since then, Jim has volunteered providing photography, DJ services at many events. Jim gleefully gives his time and talents to many organizations throughout the downriver area. Need a ride to the airport? Jim can do it. Thank you, Jim, for all your service and the positive attitude you approach in all of your activities. Thank you for your service of our staff. Okay, this is the last, and not the least here. We have with us Trenton Police Chief Mike Hawkins. Okay, this is pretty long. Mike has an extensive service background in service to this community. A lifelong resident of Trenton, he's had a 23-year career serving in the Trenton Police Department. Not that long, you know. So in that short period of time, he's done some amazing, okay. All right, it's pretty long, okay, but it's not that long. But during that time, he served in supervising in every bureau and division, including being a K-9 handler for 6 years. I think you take the dog home every night? Oh, yeah. Okay. Mike also served as president of the Trenton Police Union, Trenton Police Charities, and has been our police chief for the last 2 years. Recently, he became a graduate of the FBI Academy for Law Enforcement. He also served for 13 years on the Trenton School Board. Oh yes, there's more. Mike also coached hundreds of children in baseball, basketball, and football. In theater, we call that a triple threat, okay? So Mike, we want to thank you for your service and dedication and service above self. Thank you so much for being part of this community. I'll be back sometime. Thank you, everybody. I do want to mention Bob Jensen, the guy who put together all of this extra ambiance for us, all of the sound, and he's done a fabulous job. We just have a little round of applause for Bob Jensen. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would, please welcome to the stage Trenton Business Association Representative Janelle. Janelle, please step forward and receive some applause from a hearing audience.
Thank you, everyone. As Mike said, I'm Janelle Felsky from, Janelle Felsky from the Trenton Business Association. I'm the president. I'm also from Public Service Credit Union just down the street here in Trenton. Thank you to the Rotary for inviting the TBA to participate in the State of the City program today. For the past 23 years, we have honored some stellar businesses in the Trenton, including Drs. Jackson, Snyder, and Parker, Oakwood South Shore, the Framery, Public Service Credit Union, Colors by Kim, Brits Enterprises, Mr. Handyman, Savannah's, Dan's Barbershop, West Grange Pharmacy, the European Boutique, the Lighthouse, Captain's Quarters, Roundhouse Barbecue, Open Book Theater, and Business Person of the Year, John McNally. Tarago, All About Grace, Kevin James Menwear, South Valley Internal Medicine, Vintage Market Mercantile, and Love You Bunches and Bunches, and last year, BBR Realty. This year, our Business of the Year for 2025 is Mr. Nick's Restaurant. Mr. Nix was nominated for doing so many wonderful facade improvements to his building inside and out. The Brunners are always giving back to the community for those in need and supporting so many sports, nonprofit groups, and charities that need help in their fundraising. The food is pretty good there too at Mr. Nick's. They also opened another restaurant on Grosseal recently called the Tipsy Fish, and just in time for Lent. Owners Ron and Roseanne Bruner are currently on vacation, so we would like to welcome their son Robert Bruner to accept the award on their behalf. Congratulations.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if you would, welcome to the stage Tim Beaker. Tim Beaker will be there to give out the Wall of Fame, Sports Wall of Fame. Tim Beaker, put it together.
Thank you, Mr. McCullough. It's an honor to be here this evening, and I appreciate you listening to me for a couple minutes. The Trenton Sports Hall of Fame, Trenton Sports and Recreation Hall of Fame has been a staple of the Trenton community for years. The community was founded by holding meetings in the initial members' basements and has grown to honoring winners in this fine event tonight. Tonight we honor 3 award winners, Eileen Flanagan, David Fisher, and Howard Hammis. Eileen has been a staple of our volunteers and gone in the Recreation Department. A member of the Recreation Commission and recreation photographer for over 30 years, a member of the High School Hockey Showcase Committee and the Festival Committee for over 20 years. We could go on to talk about all of the many other things that Eileen has done in the community, including all of her recognition with coaching and known as the voice of the Trenton swim team, and helping out with the Buzz program guide for years. So please help me in honoring Eileen Flanagan. Mr. Fisher has been known around Trenton as one of the greatest athletes this city has seen. He, to this day, holds numerous high school records in basketball and tennis, and has left an everlasting mark as coach for years in the community. Please help me in honoring David Fisher. And last but not least, tonight's last Hall of Fame nominee or award winner, Howard Hammis has volunteered and participated in almost everything Trenton. He is also a Paul Harris awardee, an Eagle Scout, an auxiliary police officer, overall volunteer to anyone. He has volunteered for anything anyone has ever asked. And one of his most extraordinary accomplishments is that he has participated in over 236 triathlons. Please help me in honoring Howard Hammis.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would, please help me welcome Chief Keith Anderson.
Good evening, everyone. And it's an honor to stand here today to recognize someone whose dedication, service, and professionalism has had an immense impact on the Trenton Fire Department and this community. It's my privilege to introduce Captain Josh Hodge, who has been named Trenton Fire Department's Firefighter of the Year. Captain Hodge's career with the fire department spans an impressive 26 years, and in that time, he's not only shown unparalleled commitment to, but also a level of bravery and compassion that truly sets him apart. Josh's journey began long ago, and his drive to serve others led him to become a firefighter. But he didn't stop there. He expanded on his skills and expertise, and he just completed serving our collective communities downriver for 23 years as a SWAT paramedic. This role speaks volumes about his versatility and his ability to stay calm under pressure, often in some of the most highest stakes situations imaginable. His training as a SWAT medic allowed him to make life-saving decisions, even when those decisions had to be made in the middle of a chaotic, life-threatening situation. Captain Hodge's contributions to the fire department has saved countless lives and has been instrumental in the safety and well-being of our community and his fellow firefighters. Whether he's responding to a fire, leading a team in a critical rescue, or ensuring his colleagues are prepared for the most intense emergencies, Josh's professionalism and leadership shine through every time. It's not just about the years of service, though. It's about the countless moments when Captain Hodge has gone above and beyond, showing that true leadership is about service, sacrifice, and selflessness. He's not just a firefighter. He's a mentor, a guide, and a role model to so many who have come up behind him. His unwavering dedication continues to inspire those around him. So please help me recognize Captain Josh Hodge, firefighter of the year.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you would, help me recognize and welcome to the stage Chief Mike Hawkins.
Well, it's an absolute honor to stand before you tonight as we recognize one of Trenton Police Department's finest, Officer Garrett Hughes. Garrett Hughes is this year's Police Officer of the Year. Officer Hughes was my first hire as police chief when he was hired in October of 2023. I could not be prouder of him today as he was selected unanimously by the command staff in the police department. While we continue on our mission of a return to excellence in the police department, we focus on character, competence, and courage as we make selections for new officers. Officer Hughes embodies those traits. Officer Hughes exemplifies what it means to serve and protect. As one of the highest performing officers in the department, he's demonstrated unwavering dedication, exceptional skill, and deep commitment to the safety of our community. His proactive approach to law enforcement is shown by having the most arrests and tickets from the road patrol and over 225 traffic stops in 2024. Beyond the badge, Officer Hughes is known for his integrity, leadership, and willingness to go above and beyond for the call of duty. Whether responding to emergencies, mentoring new officers, or engaging with residents to build trust, he embodies the core values of law enforcement. Officer Hughes was tasked with becoming a field training officer in 2024 because we knew that he was someone we wanted to train our new officers. He was more than willing and up for the task. He did not look at it as a burden, but as an opportunity to challenge himself and help the department grow and become better. Tonight we celebrate not just his accomplishments, but also his character. Officer Hughes, your dedication does not go unnoticed. You are a shining example of excellence in policing, and our community is safer and stronger because of you. Please join me in congratulating Officer Garrett Hughes, Trenton Police Department's Officer of the Year, who's here tonight with his wife Nina and son Santino.
Congratulations, Officer Garrett Hughes, my neighbor. Really appreciate it. Anyways, one more time, let's give a big hand to Trenton's amazing mayor, Stephen Rizeppa.
Alrighty. I would now like to take the honor to bring up Brody Thompson. So it's my honor to introduce him this evening here. Brody is a true embodiment of the spirit of Trenton here. He's left a positive and lasting impact in so many ways across our community, from Headkey Elementary to St. Joseph, now Trenton High School. Brody has consistently demonstrated an unwavering commitment to everyone around him. Whether he's greeting classmates by name, mentoring his peers, his presence is always a shining example of the kindness and leadership that defines our community, right? Brody's dedication extends far beyond the classroom, fortunately here too. He serves with his heart as an altar server at St. Joe's. He volunteers at events across the community like the annual fish fry they have, and plays an integral role in efforts such as the Trenton Food Pantry, the Goodfellows envelope distribution, and so much more. Brody's a big leader in school in multiple clubs, from his peer-to-peer group to the student council, and even helped create a new program to support new students who just joined the district. On top of all of that already, right? Brody serves as the team manager, not one, not two, but 3 different varsity sports teams here, our baseball, football, and hockey teams. And he does so with a smile and contagious positive attitude with every step of the way. If that wasn't enough, again, if that wasn't enough is all, on the weekend you may have seen him at Trentonwood Farms, where he continues to build and nurture meaningful relationships at his part-time job there within the community that he holds dear. So Brody, you today are an exceptional young man, and we appreciate your contributions to the Trenton community for how inspiring this is for so many people that will come after us. It's a privilege to celebrate you tonight, and we look forward to all the great things that you will continue to do as our Trenton Knight of the Year. So we'd like to give one big congratulations to Brody Thompson, our Trenton Knight of the Year, and would also like to say that just so you are prepared enough, it was 2009 that I actually received that award. So I was doing the math on this earlier. So in 2035, because I became mayor in 2019, you just have to be ready to be mayor. So. Thank you for all you do. Actually, got to grab that off the stage here. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Closing remarks. Good transition, right? So I'll make this even easier for you all. I'm just going to leave you all with this. It's a quote I glance at that I keep on my phone every now and then. It's from Dale Carnegie. I shall pass this way but once. Any good, therefore, that I can do, or any kindness that I can show to any human being, let me do it now. Let me not defer nor neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again. I believe the bar is open till 9:30, so thank you all for coming. Have a good night.
And I guess I shall pass this way. Just a couple of reminders. The bar's open at 9:30, as the mayor mentioned. Also, there's coffee and decaf back there as well if you want to participate on that. There's flyers outside talking about the Shamrock Shenanigans that Rotary's sponsoring, so you may want to attend that. And the houses, the chocolates. Somebody, you might want to take that with you because that's some amazing chocolates. Ronnie Ruel, where are you, Ronnie? Ronnie Ruel, I can't see you with the lights and so forth. I see her. Ronnie Ruel is the chocolatier that created all of this chocolate. She deserves a round of applause. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your kind attention. We appreciate it.
For any of our awardees as well, before you take off, any of our awardees, if you'd like to come over here, we have some special tributes from the state of Michigan for you, from State Representative Riley Linton and State Senator Camilleri.
No, not on there. Maybe just down there.
This away. Thank you all.
Yeah.